Everyone that I've spoken to about you, who've interviewed you,
yes,
who've met you, I've said you're very sweet.
Ah,
You come across very humble.
thank you.
You know a lot about music, and it's great. But I'm gonna say, Melanie, on that stage, you go in. Like on that stage, you got the attitude. It's like you're a totally different person, right?
I know.
Now it's great. It's great because stage presence is very vital.
Yeah.
But is that something you developed, or is there just something natural that comes out of you?
You know what? It's definitely something that was natural that I developed, that I honed in on. It's funny because people ask me this all the time. They're like, you get on the stage like a man, like a rapper. You get there, you get low, you get dirty, you sweat, and I'm like, I do? And I don't really realize that, like, you're a beast on stage. And I honestly, I have so much fun. You get to be aggressive, you get to be characters, you get to live different emotions, you just get to explore, and the live music brings me to life just so much. I just feel like I will always give it my best as long as I can, because I feel like that's what people want. They want to be entertained. They want to have an experience. They don't want to see you up there like a karaoke singer walking back and forth. They want to feel like you're working. And I know when I go to a show, I want to be entertained.
Yeah.
I want to sit back and really be like, let me see what I don't know about you, then I'm going to learn something about you today. And that's how I feel like when I get on that stage, it just is another zone. It's another beast. And that's it. You just kill the stage. Just murder everything on the stage, and then leave no survivors, and then walk away.
I want to talk about the track Ayo Yo. I love that track.
Thank you.
I really like it, but I know that it's special to you.
So special.
Tell me why, because you drop a lot of gems in that record. But tell me why it's special to you.
Well, Ayo I wrote, and I did it on my own, and like I said, I worked with songwriters, but Ayo is a record that I don't think anybody else could have written for me. And I don't think I could have written it for someone else. It was really a personal story because I came back from London as I was recording my album, and I was really experiencing the push and the pull between being an artist and then being a singer and being a human and being, you know, in the industry. And I really just wanted to make a song that reflected on that, because I felt like people experience adversity and frustration in whatever they do.
Yeah.
Whether you're an artist, whether you're a doctor, a teacher, a friend, a lover, a husband, a student, it doesn't matter. And I felt like I wanted to make a song where at my concerts I could see people lift up and have their hands in the air and rock with me, and it'd be this, you know, this anthem, so to speak. And, you know, I love that record because most of the other songs on the album are about relationships and about love, and that one isn't. And it's just about positivity through good music and unity. So yeah, Ayo, yeah, it's got my heart. Yeah.
Are you going to drop that as a second single? Because Give It To Me Right is doing well over here, but are you going to drop Ayo Yo as a single?
I would love to drop Ayo as a single. I would love to drop Ayo as a single. Now I've got these labels, we've got these radio stations, but me, if it was Melanie Fiona TV, radio, and internet, it'd be Ayo, for sure, yeah.
Okay. Now, we spoke about him briefly before. Canadian artist making a lot of noise in hip-hop. You're making a lot of noise in R&B. Drake is doing fantastic
He
from
is.
Are we going to see you together collaborating soon? Maybe singing together, because he's got a good voice too.
Oh, absolutely. Drake and I will absolutely be in the studio together. It has to happen. Drake, this is these small things that nobody knows. Drake, myself, the producer he works with and tours with, and another artist from Toronto, we used to gig together. We were part of a group together.
Whoa. What was it called?
The Renaissance. And it was just our own thing where like 4 artists, musicians got together and gigged 2 nights a week, every week in Toronto at this local little lounge, and just to make a couple bucks during the week. But we loved it. We loved creating and working together. And it was great. And then now, shoot, to a few years later, to just see us all at the same point independently, it's the best feeling. And like, I'm so proud, you know, when people are like, oh, you know Drake? And I'm like, do I know Drake? I'm like, of course I know Drake. And it's just great. That's love. That's family. And like, I just, yeah, we have to definitely be doing something.
So musically, you guys have grown together.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And it's a great feeling. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Sweet.
Now, you come across as a real artist. You're a fabulous singer, great voice.
You.
Now, one thing I've got, not a beef with, but if I'm looking at it from a singer's perspective, the autotune, I think that it doesn't do justice to people that do sing.
Absolutely.
Do you feel maybe a stronger word, but do you feel that the auto-tune is killing the art of singing?
To an extent. I'm kind of on both sides because I am an artist and I can respect people using a technique that's different and new and, you know, sounds cool. But then in the other side of it, it allows anybody to feel, and including people who want to be in the industry for all the wrong reasons, it can make people feel like, oh yeah, I could do that. Like it's a piece of cake. Like, no, I don't really have to have singing ability, or I don't really have to work hard and train and you know, and perform live. Nobody expects that anyways. I think that that's wrong. I think that people should be able to expect when you come to a show, you're seeing someone sing live and real, and what you hear on the album is even better when you hear it live. I think, like, you know, like I said, both sides. I can see the art, I can see the use of a different kind of instrument, then at the same time I can just see how people will abuse it. And so I'm not really a fan. I don't like auto-tune by any stretch of the imagination for me. I think once I've proven myself as a bona fide singer, hey, you might hear me use it as an effect for something different, but I want people out the gate to know that this is not manufactured, this is not auto-tune, this is not fake. This is real singing, and I have to work hard for it, yeah.
Yeah. I was speaking to Carmen outside and Michael about singing in the studio on a track, singing live is two totally different things.
Two totally different things.
Someone can sing great in the studio but horrible on stage.
Horrible on stage. That's the difference. That's the thing that separates.
Exactly. And I think when you did the beatbox thing on the stairwell,
on the staircase, yeah,
I think it showed a lot of people that may not be familiar with your work enough. That, whoa, this girl can really sing.
That's the one thing that I started seeing in all the comments. People were like, oh my gosh, like, she can actually really sing. And, like, you know, I've posted shows before and people have seen that and been like, wow, she's great. But that got the most attention. And I felt really great about that because it just reminded me that at the end of the day, people still look to see raw talent without all the glitz and glam, without the band, without the music. Yeah. Stripped down in a stairwell with a beatbox. Just a beat. Give me a beat. And just...
that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. I like that. Yeah. I like that. Now, blogging, you got your own blog.
Yeah.
You want to tell the people what the blog's called?
Yes, it's just melaniefiona.com/blog spot or blog. I'm so bad. But it's because what it is that from my website melaniefiona.com you can get to the blog, but my video blog on YouTube. Now that's kind of like the main attraction for me. I love YouTube. It's easy to manage. It's just easy. People can leave comments. It's great. I get to post videos. I try to do it on a weekly basis. And it just allows people to see visually what I'm doing, you know? Facebook and Twitter are a little bit more difficult because you got to be on all the time and responding, and people sometimes get offended when you don't, and it's just so hard. Whereas YouTube, you put it up there and people like, they can see and they can follow along, which is great.
Now, Twitter.
Yes.
Let's talk about Twitter. What's its drawbacks for you?
The drawbacks is the commitment.
Right.
The commitment of the drawback, the commitment that it requires. It requires a lot of attention. It requires a lot of time. So that's tough sometimes in somebody like me who has such a busy schedule. It's hard to stay on top of it. Second thing would be people are really interested in what you're doing on a personal level. And that's what they're interested in. And I want to talk about the music and what I'm doing, you know, in my career. And people want to know what I'm eating for breakfast. And that is kind of where it gets a little distorted and it become a little bit of intrusive. Yes. But I feel like as long as I'm in the driver's seat, I can control what I'm speaking about. Yeah, you know? And people are super supportive. And the positive absolute, which is evident, is that it gives your fans a chance to, like, communicate with you and feel a part of who you are, and, you know, feeling that, you know, they can relate to you. Yeah.
Absolutely. And when's the album going to drop?
July 20th.
July 20th.
July 20th.
You're not moving that? You're not pushed back?
It got moved, but that is the date. July 20th, here in the UK. Very excited. The Bridge. It's June 30th in Canada. July 20th here in the UK. Yeah.
Okay. He's got my number and you can't want me, baby. Here I am. Either you make the time or just forget.